We're live.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
How's everyone doing tonight?
I don't know if anybody's in the chat yet. Is anybody in the chat? Is there anybody watching? Oh shit! Hi, Greg.
What's up, Greg?
How's it going, dude?
Greg has followed us.
Greg, hit us with the follow.
Thank you, Greg.
Right?
Shout out, Greg.
Page 24 says something.
This is the Greg I'm thinking of. This is the dude who's running the MCP event at LSO in August, and who runs. He runs, I believe, it's the Forge tournaments.
Is that our Greg?
It is.
It is.
It is.
I remember. Hell yeah.
Page 24 also says.
Well, hello, Crossfade.
How you doing tonight, CrossFade?
How's everybody doing, guys? 2 first-time people too. Awesome.
I do have the air compressor going next to me.
Hopefully, it's not too loud.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too loud. If it is too loud, just let us know. I got a little bit of priming left to do.
It is not picking up at all.
Sweet.
Wonderful.
NVIDIA broadcast working its magic.
We love
Thank
it. We love to see it.
Eli, why don't you tell us what you're working on?
I'm working on Namor, the Submariner.
Yeah.
He's super cool. I've had him for a bit, but he's just sat primed on my desk for a while because I played like 2 games with him in X-Men because he was just fun.
Is he an X-Men?
No.
Not a mutant?
Sadly. He is a mutant. But AMG are cowards and won't make him an X-Men affiliated model.
Oh, he's a mutant.
He's not affiliated, this is the problem.
Oh.
I hear his stories are always more affiliated with
Yes.
Shield and doing other stuff.
Yeah, for the most part. And like his affiliations are Shield and Defenders. Like he's mostly with New York and doing things around that point. I would not be surprised if he's affiliated with Fantastic Four because they're on again, off again. He's the first anti-hero of Marvel when it comes. But yeah, he's a mutant, and I would like him to be an affiliated 5 threat because I'm selfish.
Don't you have an affiliated 5 threat?
We do. We have cable. We have cable, and we're about to get the 6th threat in Phoenix.
Oh,
So yeah, like we have options, but like Namor's cool, dude.
Namor's pretty alright.
Yeah.
Crossfade says he's doing good.
Good. Glad to hear it, man.
So we're hobbying tonight. Is anyone else hobbying tonight?
Yeah. What's everybody working on? I also have Doctor Strange on my table. I figured he got that nice update. He deserves a paint job.
A little bit.
Might try to get some defenders on the table. I happen to have a smattering of defenders by just getting boxes. Like
Almost first day.
yeah.
Greg says I'll be painting with human.
Oh heck yeah.
Nice.
New Inhumans rocks.
You know, we actually just painted Inhumans.
Yeah.
For stream less than a month ago, it feels like.
Yeah, right about.
No
more than a month ago.
Chergrok can get the dates.
Yeah.
But we just painted that box. And I gotta say, Gorgon was so boring to paint. I don't know. So I try, not hard, but I make a conscious effort to paint studio theme, at least for MCP.
Like literally like 2 days away from a month ago, yeah.
So yeah, almost a month ago we were painting these things. And Gorgon's color schemes, at least what they used for the AMG boxes.
Yeah.
I looked it up and it's not super consistent across all of his appearances.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little bit more red, sometimes it's a little bit more like UT orange.
Gross.
Right? But trying to stick to AMG box art, he's just a mess of like browns and tans. Which just isn't a lot of fun to paint.
Nah.
So
I feel you.
I hope you have a ton of fun with Max, Black Bolt, and the hobo with a hand. Whatever his name is.
The hobo with the hand.
He looks like a
talking
hobo.
about Karnak?
Yeah, sure. He looks like a hobo.
The martial artist himself.
Yeah. The martial artist.
Not the supreme martial artist.
No, that's Shang-Chi.
That is Shang-Chi. Still reigning supreme.
Unnerved, untouched?
Unnerved, untouched. He was left completely alone.
Does that mean he's staying in his lane, moisturized?
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't come near him, he ain't got no problems with you. Leave him alone. His 10 rings will stay on his fingers and won't come anywhere near you.
Unfortunately, he has a tendency to be holding things
Yes,
and standing places.
that's true.
He only didn't do those things.
He likes to move somewhere, get displaced, and then charge back into the fray to make that charge or make that displacement not matter.
A little bit more black in my primer. Now maybe they do. So I use almost exclusively Monument these days.
Yeah.
For my paints, and maybe they make a gray primer, but I don't currently own that. I'm mixing white and black
Just to get the right gray tone that you want.
Just get the right gray tone. I don't want a super light gray. I want a little bit of a dark. I'm gonna use this in place of black because I'm going. That's better. I'm going kind of an all over khaki color.
Okay.
And then once I get that khaki down, I'm gonna go in with Seraphim Sepia and Skeleton Horde Contrast
Okay.
to kind of get my fatigues.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So right now I'm just I am priming Warmachine, working on the new Grave Diggers.
Yeah, Joe made me a liar with the.
I'm gonna paint Blade tonight.
He is going to paint Blade. He's primed, ready to go on our table. You can see, like, I have it right here.
All right.
This is Joe. What Joe's going to be painting tonight. It's just set aside for him. It's just set aside while Joe is priming on the other desk.
Yeah.
I'm working on this right.
He's priming these cool mechs, man. Look, I'm going to be honest. If I had my box, that's what I'd be doing too. I'd be using Lexi's airbrush to prime those models.
Right.
But I gotta wait. I don't know when those are coming in. Actually, I'm gonna check. Let's check.
Right.
Let's see if I got a shipping date. Probably not, because I think those were made to order. Like, I ordered dice for Joe and I for respective.
Dice I gave you.
Dude, the Gravedigger dice looks so sick.
Yeah, have you seen? Yeah,
Like Baron of Dice just stays winning in terms of like dice.
in terms of design at minimum.
You have to include not sponsored when you say that.
That's very true. We're not sponsored by Baron. He's just a cool guy.
Right.
I've gotten dice from him for like a few years at this point because he does a bunch of dice for a bunch of different game systems. He just happens to be partnered with Steamforge Games for Warmachine, so you can get official faction dice, which is cool. Again, not sponsored.
Imagine being
Just
the
cool
dude that
dudes.
cornered the dice market for like tabletop war
Right?
games.
Okay,
What a fucking winner.
that looks like a 40K design
What?
for a symbol.
Oh,
The Gravedigger.
the skull and the wings. Oh, I broke my glove.
Yeah. Well,
nothing I
you
can
have
do
to get
about
a new
that.
glove.
Nothing I can do about that. Really?
You just kind of flex and it's exploded.
My hands, they will not be contained. As long as I can keep it on my fingers.
You can't contain your power.
Right.
And it looks like a 40K symbol.
A little bit. You know, 40K
Maybe.
likes their
If you
skulls.
look at every wing set with a skull, it's a 40K symbol. Then they've cornered the market.
Yo, speaking of 40, well, not exactly 40K, but GW in total.
Yeah.
Got some bros down there hanging out right now at the GW Open in Dallas.
Yeah.
Jeff
from the crew and then friend of the stream, Randy, they're up there.
doing
They were doing
doubles.
doubles today. And they got the GT this weekend.
And last we heard, they were 2-0.
Last year they were 2-0. They were facing a couple friends in Dallas for all the marbles.
Who are they playing?
They were playing Richardson and Schleeses.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Both good players.
What's the website that's used for?
West Coast Pairings.
Maybe we can
We can
oh,
snipe
does
it.
the GW event use BCP?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I don't know why. It's not like there's a pack or fucking rules.
I think it's just like it's kind of just.
True.
Ooh, yeah, that looks nice.
Right.
I think in the same way that Longshanks has kind of become the system that has been adopted by MCP, Malifaux, and all those like smaller skirmish games and stuff. Like Best Coast Pairings has kind of just been adopted by the like army scale games. Like
True.
40K and Sigmar use it.
They lose it.
They did.
Lost it by 4.
40 to 44.
Ooh,
Wow.
lost it by 4.
Good job, guys. That's a tactic. That means that is a tactic difference.
Yep. What was sleaziest and
Yeah. Well, what were the running? It looks like OBR and Gits. That's a good combo.
yeah. OBR's a nightmare to deal with. Those gets like
What battle plan were they playing too? I wonder. I could look it up. I know it's in one of the discords that I'm in.
didn't Dylan go get the TO drunk?
No, he didn't actually do that.
They both achieved 4 battle plans. So that means it had turns of.
A tactic on the and do they get their tactic? Well, I guess it doesn't say
They
when.
go to turn 5.
If
They both missed.
unless it was the tactic turn 5, that was the winning point.
Yeah.
Both missed one.
But that's
Do you
tough.
think they
That's a
took a
close
double?
game.
Yeah.
Do you think one of them took a double?
I wouldn't be surprised. And then the double back,
All right.
probably. Yeah, like that's 4 very good players playing a double game.
All right.
Like the decision making gets really tight there. And Randy himself has played a lot of doubles. Like, was it 2023 that him and Derek won the LVO doubles?
Yep. No, that man does a lot of doubles.
He loves playing doubles, man.
I mean, honestly, doubles is a great format,
It is.
especially for like the Friday before a big event.
Yeah.
It's a shit. At least as far as I'm aware of, MCP doesn't have anything equivalent.
They do teams, but they don't do like doubles, and that they don't do doubles in that aspect.
Yeah.
But there are teams events that are propping out. Like the big one is the one in Copenhagen, I believe. Yeah, WTC.
So are we now? When you say teams, is it like the teams I'm thinking of?
Yeah, like what we've done in Sigmar, where a bunch of singles games and a pairing
Okay,
process.
okay.
Like squad goals earlier this month.
Yeah.
Shout out the taco truck dudes. That was a 3-man teams event with a model restriction across the team
Okay.
and a crisis restriction across the teams.
Okay.
So you could not select the same crises as your other teammates.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, which is a really neat wrinkle. I'm hoping to go next year, and I think it'll be a blast.
We're gonna go into MCP events.
The 3 of us are going to LSO in August. Joe, myself, and Chad Chergrot. We're all committed and buying our. We've already bought our tickets. We're very excited to make it.
Buy mine next.
Chad's going to buy his next month, but he's going to go.
Yep.
I'll figure out what I'm bringing.
I am probably going to be bringing webs. I've had a lot of fun playing them. I'm playing a lot of games with them.
Got a lot of practice with it.
It's a play style that jives well with me.
Right.
It just does what I was trying to do with X-Men better.
Yeah.
And it's cool Spider-Man models. Like,
right.
It's really fun. It's about to get a new box of more fun models too. So it's just like
I'm a little jealous of
it
Webs.
fits. It fits. It's good.
You jealous of Webs, Joe?
I am.
You're jealous of Webs?
Because Avengers aren't getting a new box. I mean, every box is an Avengers box when you think about it.
Every box is an Avengers box, but I don't know. I mean, we did just get Gambit.
Yeah, Avengers did just get Gambit basically.
So if you like that flavor of Captain America,
if you're a first Avenger fan,
I'm actually gonna paint him up soon.
Oh hell yeah!
That I don't know. I'd have to get a couple games in with it. I know Steve 1 is so comfy.
You really like Steve 1.
Steve 1 is so comfy.
I think what you really need, Joe, is you just need to get reps with Vulcan.
Honestly, I kind of don't want to put him in the list.
Yeah. But he's
so powerful.
He's so good.
Like, I get it. Like, But
He's probably your best affiliated model under your best affiliation leadership.
so, and this might go back to the kind of conversation we had a little while ago. At the end of the day, you and I are both, to some degree, competitive players.
Yeah,
Like,
and we're both Hulk haters.
right? There is some kind of scale or some kind of spectrum
Yeah,
that you and I fall closer towards the competitive grinder side.
yeah.
You and I have done in
It's fun to tweak and optimize and
Yes.
play to the best of your ability and try to play with no mistakes and play in that mindset and play at higher levels
Right.
of competition, right? Like there's something to be said for games that are like really close, played really well between two friends, and
Right.
in a really clean and sportsmanly way.
So-
it's not for everybody, but it is how Joe and I operate.
Yeah.
A lot.
So I don't know if I want to bring that typical like highly competitive play into this game.
Yeah,
The other night Alex destroyed me,
yeah.
right? And like
Some of that was dice.
some of that was nice.
Some of that was dice.
Some of that was
You don't
nice.
expect Drac to do the 7 damage on the clapback.
Oof, God,
That
bless him.
was that was the big turning point,
Yeah.
right? Like,
However, there is something to be said for if I don't feel like we're in for all the marbles,
right?
I don't mind losing a game.
That's yeah,
And especially when variants can get so outside of parity,
yeah,
it doesn't feel that bad. It's just it's a nice game.
yeah.
So it's been nice to just get destroyed and be like, that's a game.
And it's nice because this game is relatively short, right? Like,
Right.
The game's relatively quick. You get your ass beat. You can just turn around and be like, I'll just play another one.
Yeah,
Why
rack
not?
up,
Like,
find someone else.
it doesn't feel as bad as wasting 3 to 4 hours and then losing.
Ooh.
Losing even when you because Sigmar sometimes even when you lose badly, it still takes 2.5, 3 hours.
Yes, it can. I've lost games basically before we've even rolled dice just from deployment.
Yeah, just
And that's
screwed up.
That's a 3-hour.
That's a 3-hour mistake you live with.
Yeah.
And at a tournament, you don't get to re-rack.
Yeah, no, like, okay. So.
And it's fun to try to like pick yourself up out of that hole, but
Yeah.
like sometimes when you play enough, like you and I have with these games, like in certain matchups, there's nothing you can do to pick it up unless the opponent makes a mistake.
Yeah, just
and you can
throws the
capitalize.
game.
Yeah, which does happen.
That does happen. And that's kind of nothing to be said. At those games that last 2-3 hours, you have to be locked in that whole game
That's
to catch your opponent if they are going to throw.
Whereas I don't got to be locked in that long
Nope.
for MCP.
I get to pick up my favorite Marvel characters and roll some dice, and sometimes I get to roll a lot of dice.
Now, turn 0 is like harder in MCP than it is in AOS. I would
say yes,
because of the squad building aspect and the variance and crises and stuff. Like, there's not as much of a set game plan as there is in Sigmar when you're building your lists, right?
There's also a kind of a weird something I've noticed. All right,
Yeah.
So when I was playing my Asgards, all right, I had 4 models on the board. They're all 4 and 5 threats.
Yeah.
Spending an action or an entire activation to move a model from the left side of the board to the center of the board.
Rotation.
Because you made a bad deployment.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wow, I just, of the 2, 3, 4 turns I'm going to get, I just lost 25% of an entire turn.
Yep.
So that feels much more punishing in this game than it does in some larger army scale games.
100%. But it is also easier to learn those mistakes.
True.
Especially because of the aspect of the game speed, and you can be like, all right, cool. Well, now I know, and next time I won't do that.
Right. Yeah. Well, luckily I'm just priming.
Yeah.
Dude, look how cool these trenchers are.
Those are sweet.
And then the fucking where's the machine gun guy? The dude with the heavy machine gun.
That looks great.
Right.
I love the helmet style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
All this to circle back around and say that since Joe's not trying to win the tournament,
Yeah.
he doesn't feel the need to play Hulk.
Yes. And
if he was
kind of
trying,
a
to,
roundabout
if he
way.
really was trying to win the tournament, he'd be bringing Hulk.
Yeah.
Because you'd be gimping yourself.
Yes.
In a similar way, how if I bring my webs to a tournament, I know, like this week I did not bring Shang-Chi in my roster at all. I've played 3 games. I played Shang-Chi in none of them. I played Spider-Woman instead.
Yeah.
Now, Spider-Woman's not a bad 4th threat.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very techie 4th threat, very flexible 4th threat. But if I'm trying to win, Shang-Chi is better in the role. He is a better 4th threat. And there's a lot of situations, especially in this meta call, where he is just a better take. As far as the roster goes. Part of that is because Webbs is tight on slots. But
Webbs ain't tight on shit.
At the same time, Shang-Chi is also he's just that dude, man.
Dude, he is him.
Poo, poo, poo. Like, he's so good for Webbs against Asgard because I can displace Jane without ever having to touch her.
Right.
And one of the ways that I have to beat Asgard is to limit Jane's power.
Right.
Or Thor's power. Like, I have to limit their power generation. So if I hit, like, Shang-Chi into Bill and I can displace the other stuff, fantastic.
Right.
Love that.
Okay, and so here's another thing, right?
Yeah.
For you MCP guys, or Eli, who's really kind of delved into the play of the game.
Yeah.
God, it is so rough having to take a character like Jane or Thor and sit on 3 power just in case someone boops you.
Yep.
Because, like, that's the difference between, oh man, I can charge and get my reroll, or I can get my spender and my builder.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, it's just gonna be a double builder turn.
But sometimes those are still good. When your builders are good, like the hammer strike is solid. Like, especially if you 4 Midgard it. Like,
yeah, that's what he was referring to.
Yeah.
Getting the 3 to charge.
Yeah, but even if you don't do that and you just double builder on a turn, like just to build power, like there are worse builders you can have.
Well, but I'm playing Asgardian gods. I'm playing 4 and 5 threat, beat sticks. I want to pop the fuck off.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Like you got to build the power to get there. You got to get there.
Here's the thing.
And you get 2 a turn,
2,
which is double than most of the models in the game.
True.
In Ninja, like, you build all that power, the dice of the game
Can say no. They could say no. There are many times, like, I have a low opinion of Amazing Spider-Man. He is a 5 threat. His card is very much, like, kitted out to be a 5 threat. Uh-oh.
What do we break?
Oh, you were moving it. It's
Oh, yeah. He's kitted out to be a 5 threat. But every time I all-webbed up his builder after web swinging, so I'm an additional 4 dice on his builder, I do 1 damage. Every time.
Man, talk about 1 damage. Remember the time I nuked fucking Ghost Spider?
Wow.
Recalibre that broke my heart.
That was very fun. Check out our stream game on YouTube. All of our stream games are on YouTube if you're just looking for past fun MCP content. We played Asgard versus Web Warriors, and no, I'm sorry, we played Avengers versus Web Warriors.
Yeah, Avengers versus Web Warriors.
And Iron Man popped off a Helios turn, and luckily I had the recal available, and the recal let Gwen survive on 1.
Yep.
2? Yeah, on 1.
It was 1 or 2.
It was 1 or 2. It was
you turned
she couldn't hit.
11
It was
damage
11.
Helios after defense dice, because you had blocked some of it. You would turn that 11 damage Helios into, I think, 2 or 3.
Yeah, because I ended up also getting like another success or 2 than I had before, which is the big thing. And I knew, like, I brought Recal specifically because I knew you had Helios in your roster, and I was like, I know Joe. He's gonna bring Iron. If he brings Iron Man, he's bringing Helios.
Yep.
So I gotta bring Recal just in case. Updates.
I've said they lost like.
That's not what the score says.
Yeah, I'm messaging him. Like,
They lost by 2.
That's
Let's actually paint the border here so that we get paint off.
I'm looking at stats. They are the laser guided top.
Yeah.
So first place, game 1, 46 points. Game 2,
Or they lose like first place by 2.
well, because first place team is 3-0, they're 2.
Yeah.
Major victory.
Yeah.
Battle points, they tied it 100.
Wow.
all right.
6. Jeff and Randy had 13.
Close games.
Close game.
Jeff and Randy losing the whole thing by 2 points over the course of the whole event. Sounds like. In there. Or when I went to Missouri
Yes.
and
The beginning.
yep. Started it all.
The
That was
beginning.
Adept. No, it was LVO. It was LVO.
No, because
LVO.
Missouri was before LVO.
You're right.
Yeah.
Went 1-4.
Yeah.
Technically 5-0. At a vet in Missouri.
Because your dice were so bad, you got beat by the ringer.
I got beat by the ringer.
From 0-5 to 5-0, though.
Yep.
What a journey.
The redemption arc where I went 4-1, and fucking Tyler from Warhammer Wednesdays
Yeah.
ended up winning best in order. Asshole submarined, but I can't be too mad. I did lose against, at the time, very oppressive trolls.
Yeah.
Trolls were awful.
Now they're not nearly as good.
Yeah, which, you know what? I think that's fair. They deserve it.
They've had their day in the sun.
Yep.
They can wait till 5th edition to break things again.
You know, it's weird. It's always Gits, man.
It's just a lot of variance.
Gits
So,
gets away with gets away.
yeah.
They do get into some serious trouble.
Yeah. They get a little bit of a pass because they were garbage for a long time, but
Very long time.
now they just get like one broken thing after another.
Right.
Where's
Every time I play against Gits and it's some poorly cobbled together army of mismatched, barely painted
Chins and
models,
squigs and all that stuff, yeah.
right? So I know it's going to be a bad game.
But the people who hobby Gits,
Yeah.
those are some of the most beautiful armies I've ever seen.
Fucking 800 night goblins at a parade standard.
Like, oh, that army looks so good when it's painted to great detail.
Right.
Oh, that's a good base there for Namor. We'll let that dry a little bit. Move to Doctor Strange. Get him out of his little portal here.
You doing studio? Paint job for both of those?
Yeah. I do box art. It's great. They did a good job with the colors, and I'm just like I like what they look like enough.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, yeah, this is what they get. This is what they deserve. I don't do it, exactly the same way, but
Close.
it's my own version of it. Having the box art for reference as well, like, it's nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna click it over to just to show everyone on his.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I mean, like, just a bunch of dudes.
Bunch of dudes that are getting primed.
Don't worry, I'll actually get to painting here.
Like it's got priming's got to get done.
Right? I just I got to go through and like
It's an important step in
I
the
got to
process.
get like these supports. I don't know if you can see that down up in there. I got to get these little supports kind of popped out, cleaned up.
Like our next hobby stream. when
Oh
we get
wow, I
around
actually
to it-
got that in focus for a hot second.
Nice. Our next hobby stream we're planning on we're gonna do it after Joe and I get our Phoenix boxes
Yeah.
from CP.
Yep.
And we'll dual hobby the Phoenixes.
Yep. We're gonna go both Phoenixes.
Yeah.
Like, we need to put them on a hot.
Yeah.
So, like, Phoenix, both of you are going to be painting them.
Yep.
I know for a fact that when the Jubilee box comes out, Joe's going to want to paint.
Yep.
Same. All of those I will be getting all of those expected. I will be getting Jubilee and Havoc. Oh.
We're going to have painting nothing but Spider-Man for the next 5 hobby streams. That box.
There's also that too. Yeah, like I am absolutely gonna paint. I need to figure out what I'm going to do for Miguel, how blue I want to do him, because like the box art blue's not that blue
Grab
for Miguel,
Vargas.
but like he's had one of his big costumes is just very blue.
Very dark.
It's an extremely dark blue.
Anyone
Like I might use that blue that I used on Agent Venom, but then do a blue shade on it instead of a black shade like I did. That's a very good blue.
yeah. Anyone in chat enjoy priming models? I find it somewhat therapeutic. But not too much. I don't like primer.
That's fair.
So I find that when it comes to primer, you kind of have like two options, right? You could do what I'm doing right now, which is airbrushing on actual miniature primer. But that has kind of its caveats, right? So this airbrush primer, a little bit different formula than your standard like acrylic paints. A lot more salt in this, and a couple other chemicals in the medium. So it needs a lot longer to dry because it forms much stronger adhesion. So
I
I'll
did
prime
not
all
know
these
that.
models, and then I won't be able to touch them for 4 or 5 hours. Ideally, a whole day.
Yeah.
Or you lock in with some spray paint.
I love raw grand priming. Walking in my backyard, doing them, sitting them on the chair, letting them air out for an evening, and then bringing them inside.
I for the longest time I did almost all of my priming with rattle cans, and I think it might be the superior.
Really?
Yes. Now, caveats to that.
Right.
We live in Texas.
Yeah.
So we have weird weather conditions here.
Weird is a good way to put it.
But on a hot summer day with low humidity, where it's in the high 90s, I can go out there with a can of black spray paint, hit the models, and it'll be dry, before evening.
Yep.
And because there's no humidity in the air sometimes, we get some like buttery smooth primes.
Oh yeah.
However, we have some days where Texas has partnered with Campbell's and our air has turned into hot tomato soup. And those days, you do not want to prime miniatures.
Nope.
I have low key. I don't really talk about it because it pissed me off a bunch. But I threw away 10 I threw away 10 snakes for Doc one time.
Wait, really?
I primed them outside, and I swear to God, they looked like fucking chia pets. So
Like they were
much,
that stipply?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, so like it had developed so much texture from like the paint drying with all that humidity in the air.
Yeah.
Like you could feel it. Like they were fuzzy, and I had tried to strip them, and it just wouldn't come off.
Really?
And I was like, you know what? I ain't about this.
Plug it.
I just threw away $120.
I was gonna say, like,
EW
you
miniatures.
threw what, 10 snakes away?
No.
That's a fucking gold mine, man. I want to get the new Space Wolves models, at least the new heroes, because they look sick, and I have a small collection of that painting.
I feel like
That's gonna break the bank. Do it. Sorry.
So,
Like,
my other primer?
new Logan Grimnar looks so good.
Damn, almost. And I don't feel like whipping up another batch of primer. Or do I? I do. Let's just get it done.
I was gonna say,
Let's
Joe,
just get it done.
just do it all.
Right?
If you don't, you're gonna look at them after the stream and go,
God damn.
"Fuck! I wish I just
Right, I should have just done it.
just airbrushed them all." You're already in the momentum. You're in the groove. Ride the dopamine, right?
Right. I do need a little bit more hobbying on this army. So I picked up unfortunately, before I realized how interested you were in the game,
Yeah.
I picked up the Signar half of the starter box.
Oh, that's fine because I'm not interested in the Kador half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the Annihilators and the SK-66 are technically Winter Core.
Yeah.
They look just too mechanical for the humans.
Fair.
Like they're wearing the battle suits, and that doesn't exactly match the rest of the Winter Core infantry aesthetic to me. Like Avalanche looks cool.
Avalanche is pretty sick.
And there's the Mana Wars that come in one of the boxes and stuff.
Right.
But overall, I looked at those and I was just like, those don't fit what I want in the army. So
okay.
I appreciate.
Terragot's saying we have to wait.
Wait, you're good.
We're good. Never mind. We're good.
Okay, I don't know what happened, but something happened. Problem has been fixed.
Right.
So you're saying?
So I'd purchased that half, and Deuce, the character Warjack,
Yeah.
was assembled a little funky. And luckily, didn't know if you knew, the starter boxes are plastic.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they're plastic.
Huh.
So I was able to go in and, with that drill you see behind me, remove some extra material to repose the model the way I desire it.
Nice.
I do need to go in with a decent amount of green stuff.
I was gonna say, do you need to sprue glue some of the gaps that exist now?
Yeah. And one of the Black 13th, whoever was like chopping him up and putting him on a sprue, just needed a call out that day. Spro's heart was not in it, and it has some questionable connections.
You hate to see it, given how good some of these models look, right?
Right.
Speaking of character Warjacks, I am excited whenever I get my core expansion box.
Yeah.
Because it has the Med Vista character
Warjack.
Yeah,
the Med Vista looks so cool.
It's just basically Robot Bear, and it looks really cool.
Right. Did you ever end up ordering Yana?
Not yet, because she's made to order.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll wait.
She ain't gonna show up anytime.
No, yeah, but I can wait because at least the battle group box and the core expansion got me the free shipping.
Okay.
So that was just enough. So I can wait
Okay.
to get the auxiliary expansion, the bison, and God, what's her name? Lady Riding Bear.
Yama.
Yava. I can wait to get it later.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, I'll get the Ox expansion and the Bison because they're in stock, so I'll get the 5th tier, and then later, I'll order Java, or we can do like a combined order for something if there's stuff that we're interested in.
I'll end up having to, I'm gonna have to buy some things kind of piecemealed out.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to buy 2 auxiliary boxes because I want 2 units of commandos.
Yeah. Like, I like the way that Steam Fortress set up the expansion line.
Yeah.
Like, get a starter, get a battle group, and then get each of the 2 expansions in whatever order you want.
Yeah.
Like, and then after that, basically any unit is sold individually.
Yeah.
And you have all the character war jacks. But those are a cost-efficient way.
Yeah.
To start collecting an army.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And then they have the like various little singles, like Kador has Java and the Bison, which are sick. And 2 of the models that I originally looked at when I was getting into the army. I was like, these are really cool. I look at the rest of it and I'm just like, oh, these are really cool. And then I had Joe demo me a game and I'm like, yeah, this is fun enough that I'm gonna collect the army.
What
Like if I've been telling people, I was talking to Harrison yesterday.
Yeah.
Because he was like, sell me on Warmachine. And I was talking to him about it. He's like, he's gonna wait until those forest trolls do come out.
Yep.
And he sees what they look like, and if he likes them, he'll probably start collecting them too.
Okay.
And it was very much if I get one game of this like a month, one every 2 months, honestly, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get a new cabinet, and there needs to be models in those cabinets.
Yeah, no,
and like I'm gonna put some of my Marvel models in there. Right now, I have a shelf in my current cabinet, but I can get that. That looks so good.
Right.
But I can make more space for them, and make my Sigmar shelves a little bit like not as cramped.
Yeah.
If I get another cabinet and then put these in, and then I can put Warmachine in there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get all the Winter Core for Kador, and then I might get Old Umbry that got announced because those models also look really cool.
I think
a lot more detail though.
Yes. I think I might be lucky. I'm going to resist the urge to go into Old Umbry, right?
Yeah. You got Signar right now.
Yeah,
you got Gravediggers.
And this army is very cool.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of really cool rules, and at a high, so kind of an interesting army, right? So I don't know if I've ever played against anything like it. The army has a plethora of options.
Yeah.
That can drastically affect the way it performs, but can rarely do all of those things, right?
Interesting.
So I have to pick, do I want to go, do I want to drop an ammo crate for the extra damage?
Right.
And then fire off a bunch of combined ranged attacks, turn my, little infantry dudes into like pound 19, rat 12 shots, right? Or
which sounds pretty cool.
Right. Or do I want to drop a light jack on an objective to stop the scoring, right? I can't do all of those things, right? However, my opponent has to consider all of those options on their turn when making their decisions.
Yeah, trying to figure out what you're going to do.
Right. So even though I can't do everything the army can possibly do at a competitive level, there we go. Yeah.
Over again. Clip. There's a clip to sell on it, so everyone knows how many snakes Joe threw away.
Right. So Okay, so we're over here talking about how great Warmachine is.
Yeah, very
but
fun. If you played it before and you haven't touched it because of what Privateer Press did, which is fair,
I am not above.
I think it's worth looking at again.
However, critiquing,
As someone who never played it,
right? Critiquing the problems with the game.
Yeah.
So, what I'm holding in my hand right now, and I'll throw it on the thingy, is an arm for one of the. It's a blocker. All right, it's our airdrop option. Light Warjack.
Yeah.
These are 3D printed models. If anyone that has dealt with 3D printed models know that there can be issues.
Especially
So,
3D printed resin models.
right? So here we are on this one. I'll see if I can get it in focus on my camera. There's like an entire plate like layer slip here. And you can see like it's all deformed, like it's missing this back piston piece that should be right there. And then the connection piece, this part right here, is all deformed and elongated. You can see, I don't know if I can catch the light. There's a lot of slipped layers here. And then along the blade, it's super muddy. And that's just like a failure of product, right? I don't want to glue this to my model. So what option do I have here? So I'm going to have to submit a ticket to Steamforge Games with pictures. And they're going to want to see the box. And they're going to want to know where I got it from.
Yep.
And it'll probably take them 3 to 4 weeks to send me a replacement arm. Or they might just send me a whole model. I've seen them go about it 2 different ways.
Which both are good.
Both are good. So yeah, no, there we go.
That's kind of the risk, and you know that because you've worked with a lot of these like 3D printers and all these kind of machines.
But I expect these kind of problems to pop up. Cameron, one of our local guys, kind of on a whim decided, hey, I played the game once upon a time. I'll give it a shot again. And his Chimera command box,
Yeah, he got a command box,
is all fucked up. He's got broken pieces. He's got jacks that look pretty bad. So for someone that isn't aware of the potential issues with Warmachine product, I couldn't imagine someone going in, picking up a box, getting home excited, and then pulling out models that look like that. Like, I would be very upset.
Happened to the gunmates.
Yep. One of our models was broken from Adepticon. That was frustrating.
Did you ever get it replaced?
I ended up, I believe I fixed it with a little bit of super glue.
Okay.
Was one of those things where the juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
Fair.
For such an easily fixable thing, right?
Yeah. And you were able to fix it at least, which is good. But which is nice. Because a lot of times you break some stuff like breaks, and it's not clean, and it is not easy to fix.
Right.
And that sucks. Then you have to decide how much effort you're willing to put in to fix it.
Right.
And I'm not that savvy. I don't pin models. I don't do that kind of drilling thing. So sometimes I just leave my shit broken.
Yep.
Or I've done this with like weapons, where I will just find a way to glue it onto the model where it looks like it's being held correctly.
Yeah.
And if you don't look too closely, it's fine. Like orcs, like I had gore grunters that had spears before I sold the army, shoved into like the armpit. And so you put it down, it's a spear chucker just going like this, like you can't see because I'm not on camera right now, but like hilariously, like they look the way that my paintbrush does, sticking out of my arm. Like
Alright. So
very funny stuff.
Yeah. So that's that. I'm gonna step out real quick, clean out my airbrush, clean up my workspace, and then actually start working on Blade.
Yeah.
Making me like,
Hell yeah. Just
See-
finished basing my Namor, doing the basing on my Namor and my Doctor Strange, at least the base colors. Once Namor's base dries, I get to go in and start painting all the little accessories. There's like crabs and starfish and other barnacles and stuff on here, which is really cool. I love when AMG does the scenic bases for some of the like the more bigger character models,
Mhm.
like Namor and Black Panther box specifically with the
Like this guy.
yeah, it's like I Hulk with the smashing of the terrain.
My one complaint about iHulk is just the debris on that back foot.
Yeah, like that doesn't really make that much sense. Like it would not cling to him like that. But
Unless like he was curling his toes as he jumped.
which he might have.
Maybe.
That's not abnormal. Like and he is like he puts enough force into the ground when he gamma leaps that he is just going to like bring something up with him. So
Yeah.
like it's not like an abnormal motion, an abnormal thing to happen, but like on the model it looks a little weird.
Also, how come this is twice in a row? How come every hobby stream I inevitably get handed a mic?
You get handed a mic. Because sometimes we gotta get out of the chair. It'll probably happen later. I'll probably have to go to the bathroom. Like, it's just a thing. What the hell do I want to do next? Think. I'll go ahead and start on Namor's Wave.
I see a couple of y'all hanging out, not chatting. That's fine. Just got us on in the background. You're doing your own hobby stuff. That's cool.
Hopefully,
we
we're
enjoy the
nice and
company.
soothing. We're happy to have you here.
It's not catching that.
Nice little fizzle out. Need to just suck it up one of these days, get an air compressor and set it up somewhere so I can start using it. I have an airbrush. I have a nozzle. I just don't have an air compressor.
Harbor Freight, I think
They have them for relatively cheap.
yeah.
Not sponsored.
Just the store.
That one back there, I think we got probably.
I don't know if you know about this about me,
What are you
guys,
looking for, Joe?
but I'm a tad lazy when it comes to painting and
Oh,
hopping.
carry this stuff?
I got fucking glue all over my hands. This is the right. Yo, you're gonna pick up a Vordrack? Oh. That's better than 200. 160, better than 200.
So I don't have to pay taxes. So there's a couple places I can buy him online and
Joe's very
save
savvy
like
at finding deals
60
online.
bucks. Which that's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So
Joe's great at finding deals online.
I do.
And he's also great at telling me the deals after I've already purchased the thing.
That's something I do need to work on. So I love to support my local game stores. But-
You get to do it across the country.
GW does not like it when I support my local game stores.
your LCS, your local country.
Yeah.
Mr. National, I guess. You know?
Mr. Worldwide.
You know, I have purchased Ukrainian war goods.
What?
Yeah. So
Yeah, do we want to know the story? I
mean,
kind of want to know the story.
so it's one of those things that sound a lot cooler than like reality.
Okay.
So Corvus Belly loves making limited time sculpts for Infinity.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? And your boy ain't about spending that kind of money on those kinds of models, right? I don't want to spend $80 on a pewter model,
Yeah.
especially not when it's like infantry size, right? Just a
Yeah.
dude, just a dude. I ain't gonna do it. You can't make me. So, there's a website. It comes from Ukraine. They are our friendly local Ukrainian resistance proxiers, recasters.
Okay.
So during a time of war, I get to send financial aid to those who might need it. So I'm, wartime profiteering, dealing in Ukrainian war goods. By, all measure of the reality of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So it's not an unfactual statement.
yeah. No,
It's a very factual statement.
yeah.
Just not in the way that you think it would be.
Honestly, I think you should. I think everyone should support their Ukrainian recasters, because if you
Support your
haven't
worldwide
seen-
game source.
haven't seen Forge World prices and Forge World's quality in like the last 2 years, it is criminal to buy that stuff. All right, like I'm watching dudes on the Heresy. By the way, I hate Heresy. Let me just start that. I'm on like Heresy subreddits.
Why do you
okay?
hate heresy?
Because it's needlessly expensive.
Oh, that's fair.
All right,
But so is Sigmar and 40k at this point.
true, but I'm watching dudes buy like $200 Terminators,
Yeah.
and like they got mold lines, like, and
Like,
so, and I'm sorry, not mold lines, not mold line,
yeah,
print lines.
print lines.
So GW 3D prints for their master molds, okay, and then what am I supposed to do here? Like, I just spent $200 on a resin miniature that has, 3D printed at home resin quality. That's insane, right?
I don't hate heresy for that. I feel bad for heresy players because they get raked over the coals for it.
Yeah, no. Like, what's my reward for supporting
Heresy,
this game?
heresy itself, very cool.
Speaking of heresy, my God,
Those Terminators.
those Terminators.
Oh,
Those Terminators and those Dreadnoughts.
those dudes
that,
truck a motherfucker.
They show. They got like a little house on their shoulders.
Yeah, Frank Gore. They're gonna be like Frank Gore. Just
Right. All right, I think Blade's over there.
He is.
You can't
I
do-
kept him aside while you were priming, so
Thank
it
you.
didn't mess up anything.
All right, here we go. Okie dokie. So, I'm gonna add a little extra water to my wet palette. Eli, do you use a wet palette?
No.
No.
What you see here? This is the same way I do my shit at home.
Yeah.
I have a water cup. I have a paper towel. I have paint.
Okay.
Sometimes I put the paint on the paper towel. Most times I just pull straight from the cup.
This angers me deeply. But we've been friends so long.
Chaos. No, I don't thin my paints or shit. Like,
But it's less about thinning paints, all right?
Yeah.
It's more about like conserving paint.
oh yeah, sure.
Have you purchased a GW paint pot
I have.
this year?
Yes.
$7.
Yes, they are expensive.
My God.
I do get a lot of my mileage out of them. I don't just like leave them open constantly.
Right.
Up and close. If I'm not actively using a color, I only put a little bit on my brush at a time, straight from the pot onto the thing, and I spread it out so it kind of thins on the model itself. Like I have adjusted my paint technique for my Chaos Gremlin painting style.
Yeah.
I think it works. I think like the worst thing about models tend to have is I don't highlight that much because I tend to fuck up highlights. It's not. I don't do line highlights that well.
What are we working here?
A lot of times I end up regretting it. I do like dry brushing highlights though. That's fun. I'm gonna dry brush a white highlight onto this wave to get the kind of like wake on the edge.
This show is no longer me. Leave it on him and Blade.
Yeah.
As I get up.
As he gets up,
I need my
but
paint. I need my paintbrushes.
he's figuring it
Right.
out.
I finally found my wet palette. on top of the cabinets. I don't ask.
He's
I
getting
don't-
himself
don't
set
ask,
up.
Don't ask.
Meanwhile,
All right.
God, this blue. This is the fun part about painting over here, is they have so many colors that I don't have, and I get to use these hobby streams as an excuse to use their paint.
Red oxide.
Oh, yeah.
The Adepticon color red oxide has to be one of my favorite reds.
Yeah,
Incredible coverage. Really great kind of mid-low dark tone red.
hell yeah.
I'm going to use this for the inside of his trench coat.
Ooh, that is gonna look good.
Right.
That blue I used last stream for Agent Venom,
Yep.
oh, it's phenomenal. Phenomenal dark blue.
Here. As real quick, and I'm going to start by laying down some red. So if we have anyone over at the Red Button place,
I get to chat with y'all for a
how are
minute.
y'all doing today?
Good,
Any
good, good.
subs?
Gonna make Namor's feet a little blue.
Yeah?
His little wings a little blue. Just his feet are catching strays from me hitting this wave. We're working our way bottom to top of the model. Covering the last of the gray spots here. Gorgeous blue.
One.
This is just the straight up Pro Aquarel blue.
Just pro
Just
blue, yeah.
Straight proper blue. But it's got a nice brightness to it that when it's shaded blue, it's
Mhm.
going to provide this nice tone. And then when I dry brush it white, that wake is going to look real good on it.
I try to paint a little bit more vibrant. I don't really post anything online. But I do post in our local discords.
Yeah.
As I've been powering my way through MCP miniatures, I do like to paint a little bit more vibrant for my colors.
You do a real good job with it. Your Asgard look really nice.
Really happy with my Asgard. Thank you. So I think I'm gonna try and stay a little darker
For Blade, that makes a lot of sense.
for Blade.
As
Yeah.
a character.
So Eli,
Yeah.
do you watch any painting, like videos or YouTube channels?
Not really.
No,
No.
no.
I don't like. I just don't get interested. It doesn't hold my attention as much as you think it would.
Yeah,
Given my interest overall in the hobby.
yeah.
They're good. I don't know. I can never. Every time I try, it just doesn't hold my attention,
Yeah.
and I end up leaving and then not coming back to it.
I get that.
I do love seeing their finished products though. So I'll go I'll fast forward to the end to look at the models.
right.
It's usually gorgeous. I mean, that's a good yellow. Not yellow I want though.
You trying to go yellow?
Well, for Doctor Strange's ring,
I recommend start with a golden brown as a base coat, and then layer the yellow you want over top of it.
okay.
That'll help you get a nice vibrant yellow.
Yeah.
And granted, it'll be 2 steps, right?
Yeah. I'll paint the
Um,
brown, paint the yellow.
But it'll help give you a nice kind of base.
Yeah.
I do like that golden brown, and then I
Yeah.
just go over it with the yellow gold or the
Yeah.
golden yellow.
Yellow. Golden. Yeah, the golden yellow. I think I'll do the brown and then I'll do the yellow shade underneath it and
Yeah.
then paint the gold on top of it.
Depending on how dark your
Yeah, I don't want it to be too yellowy.
Yeah.
It's the you know how it's the golden mystical look.
Yeah.
For Strange.
One color I was incredibly disappointed with was where is it? Where is it? It's one of the new here we go. This color, this orange yellow, very disappointed with.
Really?
Yes. Its consistency and its coverage
It's not good.
is just kind of weak.
Because this, I think, would also look good on top
So
to get the right color.
yeah, if you want to go that route,
Maybe. I think I'm still gonna put this. I'm gonna put this golden
Mhm.
brown. This golden brown underneath.
yeah. I also got orange red. If you want to work your way,
Oh, that's good too.
yeah, if you want to work your way towards that like orangey colors.
Yeah, that layered on top, I think might actually be more of what I'm going for.
Yeah. It's hard for me to want to paint Blade though.
Why?
So I I'm pretty real with myself, okay?
Yeah.
I know myself really well. And I look at our buddy Alex's Blade.
I
And
know
I'm
where
like,
this is going.
damn, he did it so well. Can I follow that up?
You're a good painter. Your models look good. If we all compared ourselves to Alex,
Right.
I think none of us would be painting anymore.
However, one of the things that I'm very glad is the way Alex paints, right? So he does a lot of oil washes.
Yes.
Paints in very kind of muted colors, very earthy earthy colors.
Yeah, he does.
Whereas I like to push the hue of my colors and stay vibrant.
Yes.
So my miniatures, even our overlap, look very, very different.
Which is one of the cool things about hobbying, period.
Right. So, but Alex has been painting at a very high level. I just dipped in my paintbrush and gravel.
Good job.
I need to move my watercolor. Over here with my contrast paint.
Painting these rings is going to make me wish I used an airbrush. Not going to lie.
I have an airbrush.
You do have an airbrush.
Could bang them out like that.
It is tempting because
You
of
want
all
me
the
to
rooms.
you want me to hand you the? Here, I'm just gonna hand it to you.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
I'm
it.
not even gonna.
Let's just.
Not even gonna give you the option.
This is going to be. No, this is going to be such a pain in the ass to do. To do with it. Let's bang out these rings. I can go over what I hit. All right, cool. Thank you.
Got a 60-40 paint. Did I move all my contrast paints? I think I did. Here we go.
There we go. There we go. This is just going to make. Oh, there it is. A little bit more paint there.
Also, if you don't have one at home, get a vortex mixer. Love yourself.
Yeah. Whether you can get a cheap one for like $40, not even, or you can even get a little bit more expensive. Like it will save you so much. It'll save your paint. All right.
One of the things that I like to do is paint a not completely even layer of paint. And it works out because I'm trying to stay dark here. I will purposely paint an uneven layer of paint in my red, okay? And then I will go over top of that with red contrast straight from the pot
Yeah,
to act as a kind of a filter over top of it.
that makes sense.
So I'll get a little variation in the red. Just a little of that primer is going to show through, but I'll have a single smooth coat of red because of the contrast.
Right.
Just have to make sure to not overwork the paint, because one of the things you can do that'll basically instantly fuck up your model when you're working with contrast is once that paint sets
Yeah.
and starts to dry, you can go in and tear that paint, tear the layer of paint with your paintbrush if you're trying to mess with it. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to ruin all your hard work and develop a texture.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can mix in a little any of the colors you want with it, and then just kind of like touch it up. And if you'd like a little bit more control, I can turn down the air pressure for you.
That's good. Look good. It's gonna dry well. Think.
Yeah. Um,
Let that dry. It dries. Shade it yellow. And then I'm gonna try to go over it lightly with that red orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Then I'm gonna do red orange, and then I'll do a little of the orange yellow over it.
Okay.
Hopefully, get like a couple layers of the color and get that
Yeah.
like mystical effect going on.
Yeah.
Like not even do like a full with the last orange yellow. I might just like spot spray it
Yeah.
just to kind of get it like peeking through. That'll look good.
You want to go absolutely crazy with it, Eli?
Yeah. You get fluorescent.
What? I'm not painting anything on the screen at the moment. Oh. You could go in with once you could go in with a little bit of white ink,
Yeah.
right? And turn the air pressure down and then just hit the inside of those rings to illuminate the runes.
Yeah.
And then go in with the fluorescent orange around that and kind of hit that so they kind of glow orange.
That might be
Or
above my pay grade.
I have yellow as well. It's easy. Be surprised how
What?
easy the airbrush is.
We're gonna go simple.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's see how the colors look
Okay.
when we get it done.
Yeah.
Because if it does the effect that I want to do,
Yeah.
what I like in my head, then I'm probably just gonna end up leaving
Alright.
it. But I think this is a good base.
Golden yellow.
Yeah. And
Like
I kind of
golden
like the way
brown.
it splattered on the base after I had already
Yeah.
done it, which
Yeah.
is cool. And I'm gonna go back in and do like a light brown shade on top of it. Oh, I'm gonna clean this out.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Here.
Just using it to hold.
Yeah.
You can just like go dump this. Yeah.
Just go dump in the sink. Going over my red with my Blood Angels, with Blood Angels red contrast. Get a nice uniform color. What color do I want to paint his leathers?
What color do you want to paint his leathers, Jim?
So I kind of default to coal black, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Like, no surprise, right?
yeah, I default coal black. Gonna get everywhere.
Yeah.
It does.
I like spun it.
How
How do I get this off?
tighten it.
Learning how to use an airbrush
Right
on
there.
stream.
Tighten it down, and then
What the shit?
yeah, quick
Way
release.
simple. Okay. Gonna go.
Eli's gonna go clean out the airbrush.
And now I have Eli's mic.
One of the many joys of like working with airbrushes, of course, is cleaning the airbrush. If you listen to Jeff talk about it, he will insist that I have never once in my life cleaned my airbrush, and that's a lie. I've cleaned it a few times, probably not as much as I should, but definitely more than never. So he's a liar. But I think for the leathers, at least for the trench coat, I think I'm just going to go through, kind of bust it out in a quick coal black. And from there, I think I'm actually going to dry brush. Yeah, I think I'll go with a dry brush. How that? How that look? Blade might be one of the most dynamic models.
You know, until Phoenix comes out or the Miguel comes out.
I don't know, man. Like, even compared to those two, like, the dude that modeled Blade went hard. This is so dynamic. His pose is so cool. That's so much going on.
Sitting here. I think the only two models that I
I
think
might have
are
to go with a slightly bigger brush.
currently out right now. Maybe 4
You
models.
might be asking yourself, yeah, did you Zenithal Prime a model only to go back in and paint it mostly black?
Only 4 models I think that may actually be dynamic in comparison to.
I mean, very dynamic models. This dude's killing it, but I don't know, dude. Kitty's got nothing. Get her out of here. She got nothing.
I think her walking through the wreckage is very. Like,
Man.
her leg is going through that, and she's phasing through the Sentinel arm. And then the dragon's with her.
Nah, get that out of here. I'm gonna go bigger. Bigger. Larger. Probably at about that. There we go. A little water on my brush. Hitting this dude. And let's get this black on this guy.
Because, like, what? In future boxes, we're going to have Phoenix and Phoenix Unleashed. And then we have Miguel on, like, the missile or, like, an Alchemex canister. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be.
Neither am I. What is
And we have Miles doing like the flying
what is
electric
Miguel
Superman
doing?
punch.
What is Miguel doing in that model?
He wants to be let in.
Dynamic models.
Realistically, we could let the cat out here.
He's just chilling on the blanket. He happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't trying to get in.
Well, if he's not trying to get out here, I'm not
Right.
gonna complain.
Oh. Right. It's only a little bit of water sprayed through, but yep. All right. All the color. Let that hold there. Flip this over. Let's get to painting. Well, that dries a little bit longer. Peach flesh, since Namor is a fleshy boy.
Yeah, he's a very fleshy guy.
Had a lot of exposed skin.
Think we need more models that are more fleshy?
Yes, more skin.
Sure.
More skin in the game, so to speak.
Think they have enough.
Like Namor's a little slutty. He's wearing the Speedo, showing it off.
Every time I see Namor, I think of that Rick and Morty character,
Which one?
Namor.
No, I don't know which Rick and Morty
Like
character.
literally, like he's just Namor.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's literally just Namor. Just like a fish guy. But he also wears a Speedo.
Already really thin.
Yep. That might be another thing that airbrush. Just to get like a good coverage.
Yeah. Hard because I don't want to get a lot of the blue.
Yeah.
But improved. But it is a little too runny for me to just brush it off. Yeah. Let's go. We can get at least the bulk of the body. Like I said, learning how to use an airbrush in real time.
Here.
See what he's doing with this.
I have more of it somewhere. Where? I don't know. Kind of tape off your blue.
Yeah. And on. Inevitably, there's going to be a little bit of blue exposed.
Yeah, there's always going to be a tiny bit of overspray.
That's okay. For being honest, at least that blue covers really well.
Yeah,
and it brushes paint really well. So a little bit while I get Namor done is going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Had I known I was going to end up airbrushing, I would have done the skin first.
Right. the process.
Learning. Look how messy that is. But it'll work.
Right. I will here. Second.
But being right here being a pain in my butt. Yes.
There you go.
I would put Infinity Stones in eyes because they're Infinity Stone blank.
Cat is organizing all of our MCP cards.
That is a lot more flow to do. I don't know. It's color in there. Yes, it's open. Shake, senor. Make your body like.
Going with your paintbrush. Just swoosh it around, and then just clean off your paintbrush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Sure.
That'll probably look really good with
I'm gonna use the Reichland flesh aid over it.
yeah.
I think that's gonna give it the right kind of tone.
Yeah.
that I'm
I think
looking
it'll look
for.
pretty good with a
And he's not gonna really need any highlights either. After that, I can just pick out the rest of his body.
well.
Yeah. Way better than what I was gonna do. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and fix the blue on the wave, but minuscule error. Now, Joe.
Yeah.
What's your plan for Phoenix when you get her?
My plan?
Yeah, for how you're gonna paint her.
That might be a model I try and use a lot of fluorescence with.
You're gonna try to do fluorescence?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to see like what subassembly looks like.
Right.
That might be a model that I try and do subassembly with.
Okay.
Because if I can paint the majority of her flames and then just kind of work on her and then just try and do like a little cheaty OSL on her maybe.
Yeah.
That might be
Pick out the uniform
Yeah.
color so that you can kind of see it.
yeah. That might be how I handle that mini.
I'm not going to be doing fluorescent color. I am going to try to do like that's where I'm really want to get working with the airbrush and go
Yeah.
with like the nice red background and then kind of bring it up to make it look really flamey.
Yeah.
At least for the Unleashed model, because that Unleashed model, the way that looks with the big Phoenix flame, just
Right.
is hot. You know,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word.
Model is so cool. Have you figured out where you're gonna put her?
I'm just gonna play her around. And I think I want to try her with Cyclops.
Yeah.
I think she helps the power generation. Or she gets a nice boost from the power generation as
Yeah.
someone as someone who likes to play like mostly affiliated stuff.
You're not worried about her killing him in like the first 10 minutes of the game, right?
Oh yeah, I'm totally worried about that.
Yeah.
Constantly. Got an idea from a Discord the other day of just play her with a shit ton of 2-threats
Yeah.
and then let them all daze and flip her really quickly.
You know, that could be pretty funny, actually.
And then maybe she dies round 2, and then you actually can bring her back in round 4
Yeah.
with that tactic card.
I think that's one of those traps.
I think the tactic cards suck. I do not think they're good.
Yeah, they're not.
I overall think she's not a very strong model.
So
She's very thematic, but I think she will be very fun to play, but she's just too gimmicky and doesn't do enough.
you think we're gonna see any kind of like major rewrite for her?
No. No, I think she does exactly what they want her to do with the model.
Yeah.
And I think she can be fun, but like she will not be a competitive model.
Fair. Not every model. Not everything needs to be competitive.
No.
You know, like, we can get away with some stuff. Yeah, no. I think that'll look good with that flush hit over it.
Yeah. Too much, but there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Fix on the color. Yeah.
Dark navy blue for a dry brush over that black. Way too much paint.
Middle clean. Brush is mostly clean again. I'm gonna hit shading time.
Favorite time?
Huh?
Your favorite time?
My favorite time. It's shading time. No paint's coming out of the airbrush. We'll leave that there for a minute. We're gonna shade the rings on Doctor Strange's model. I've got a Cassandra yellow that I think is gonna look good on there. Oh no. Oh, sorry. Yelling at me because I'm scraping paint on, drying paint that's on the You know what? I'm just gonna get this an entirely new napkin. You can stop yelling at me. Uh, leave it alone. It's bullying me. Uh-huh. There it is. Okay.
Working towards a navy blue, and then I'm going to jump to a teal blue.
Nice.
Kind of an extreme little highlight. I gotta be really careful with this teal blue. It'll look bad.
Get this Sandra yellow onto the Doctor Strange rings. Gonna really brighten it up, and then we're gonna hit it with that. Start with that red orange.
Yeah.
And we'll see where we are after that. This alone is already pretty close to like the color and look that I want out of it. So I think using red orange for some broad airbrush highlights on there.
Yeah.
And then getting some orange yellow for a little bit like smaller highlights that are not as broad. Is gonna...
Dad behind us, questioning whether or not he's a real spider friend.
Firetracker only came in the one box, didn't it, Chad? Yeah. I think it only came in Amazing Spider-Man Black Cat. No, did it? Was that Wheat Cakes? Now I can't remember. Jarvis. Check. Let's. Amazing Spider-Man Black Cat box came with Wheat Cake, Spider Tracker, and Cat and Spider.
I think I'm gonna. It's
The Miles box came with Better Tomorrow and Uneasy Allies, and the. Oh, sorry, no, wrong look. It came with All Webbed Up, All You've Got, Web Barrier, and the Web Warriors Affiliation box came with All Webbed Up, Trip Up, Sucker, Uneasy Allies, and Lethal Protector. But yeah, Spider Tracker's only in the one box. I don't have it because my box was bought secondhand and did not have the tactic cards.
what do you think of that? What do you think of those black leathers?
Oh, that looks good. Looks good. Check that, everybody. Hope I can get to focus. Man, that black looks hot. Especially with that red underneath it. That looks really good. Really good. Good color choices. It's on the inside of the ring. On the back of the ring.
50-50 that. So, fortunately, I can't use secret tech.
Your secret deck.
Secret tech.
What can't you use, Joe?
So one of the things that I've been doing that I haven't been doing with other miniature games in terms of painting MCP, I like to go in
Mhm.
and do a very prominent black line.
Oh, yes.
Um, to help separate colors.
That's a good color. Check it out. That was the right color. That was the right base color,
Yeah,
Joe. Good
yeah.
call.
Pretty fun.
All right, so you do a signature black line. However, part of the problem with Blade.
Yeah, so black leathers.
Yeah.
So instead of a defining black line, I'm having to go in and like really highlight like
I
on
was
that
gonna say,
strap
yeah,
to make that strap stand out.
looks good. Good color, like gray color that you're using there. Shade on Namor. A little wet, so I'm gonna let it go back to drying. Not as dry as I thought it was, but it's gonna achieve the right color.
I
Once
mean,
it's said and
even
done.
with that, like a nice good, yeah, no,
It's gonna achieve the right color.
yeah,
I like it. Peach flesh is nice.
I like that. That's a good base color to throw a.
Yeah. Where's my Agrax? Appreciate Doctor Strange's face. Just a tad. This extra shading on the base is going to provide some extra color. The extra splatter from the airbrush kind of just looks like extra little glowing effects on the base. Unintentional, but nonetheless welcome.
Right. Little happy little accidents, or the masters would say.
Master Bob Ross himself.
He knew how to paint.
What'd you find out, Chad? The Bob Ross channel is a thing.
Yeah, we did not know Bob Ross had a dedicated channel,
He
24/7.
Dude, he was a dedicated. There was a dedicated 24/7 stream on
Yeah,
Twitch
Twitch stream.
way back in the
I saw
day,
that.
and then
There's
Netflix
a
had
YouTube
one,
stream.
and there's a YouTube. There's a Netflix and a YouTube stream. At least there was a Netflix stream of a few years back. I don't know if they're still doing it. That's just 24/7 joy of painting. Very fun, very soothing.
Right. I don't know if Bob Ross ever suffered from production meta.
You had to get those paintings out, man.
Right?
Okay, how am I gonna get you? Kind of same deal. Gonna do blue around. Because your model's a little too busy in the way that it's built to just really come in with the airbrush. So I am gonna have to come in and paint you. But that's okay. I think I'll start with
All right. I think I'm gonna call that done on like highlighting the leathers.
oh yeah,
I think
that looks good.
I think that looks nice and fine. Really pick out those leathers.
The right blue? This is not the right blue. Oh, This is the right blue. All right, my plan with Doctor Strange's shirt. So I'm going to go blue everywhere that's not the like logo thing on the front.
Yeah.
And that's going to be white.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to shade the whole thing blue. And it'll get that blue tint that I kind of want on there.
Okay.
It's going to look nice.
I think so too.
It'll give it that blue tint without looking too, or looking as blue as the rest of the shirt, I should say.
Right.
Get around. Sometimes it's hard to tell where the arm glove starts. Model, if I'm not looking at it correctly.
Okay.
Because the arm glove is like a dandelion, like a goldenrod, yellow. Honestly, that color that I have on the need a slightly brighter yellow base
Yeah.
than what I have for the rings. That golden brown I did that you gave me. Something a little bit more yellow than that for the base with the Cassandra yellow shade. We'll get the right color. And then I get to go and speckle little spots. And all those weird black spots.
Yeah.
That'll be fun because I can just stipple that. There's no real wrong way to do that.
Nope.
Nice and thin, good coverage on this blue. We love it.
You have any favorite paints, Eli?
I do have a few favorite paints.
Yeah.
I think my favorite red is the corn red from the Citadel line.
Oh, okay.
I just
Good
love
red.
I love the color that it gets out. It's very bright and you can not as bright as Mephiston,
Yeah.
and it still goes in like directions really well with whatever color you want to take it. I love it. I'm also a big fan of the Screamer pink. That
Yeah.
pink shade is that dark like bold, like it's not quite pink but it's not quite maroon, and it's a really good color. I've used it
Yeah.
on a lot of models, and depending on what shade you put on it, what color shade, it really takes in different directions.
All right.
Like I use it with the red shade on a lot of my Seraphon, but with like Sentinel pieces that I've done on X-Men, I did a purple shade and it's like exactly the right color,
Okay.
which looks so sweet.
When I go in, working on kind of framing blade where I want people to look at the miniature.
Yep.
Going in with some bold pyro red around the his collar, a brighter color to kind of pull your eyes towards his face,
Okay.
which is bad because I suck at painting faces.
Dude, faces suck, man.
But
They're so difficult.
the masters say head and shoulders is where you want people to look at miniatures.
Yeah.
So
Faces and faces, man. Isn't that what they say? Those elements matter. That armor plate can look really, really good, but if your face sucks and your basing isn't that great, people can tell.
right.
They frame the model. Which is why I have chosen historically to play Sigmar armies that do not require good face painting.
Yeah. I played Doc. And
A lot of tiny faces.
I actually got really good at painting lady skin
Nice.
there for a bit. But then I kind of stopped. The army wanted to go one way,
And you did not.
and I didn't want to go the way it wanted to go. So while I think I have I have a few very nice looking models left. Most of my dock definitely has left to be.
Yeah. I think we've all been there. Yo, that's a good glue for Strange's boobs. His little jumpsuit that he wears.
Right.
Areas that need it. Yeah, I need to get this guy on the table soon. He is cool. Model's fun. This updated card actually is pretty exciting to play now. Like, he generates power pretty well now.
Yeah.
Changing that rule, adding a pierce to his builder, and it's on the same symbol that he generates extra power from when he rolls dice. Effectively, realistically, a lot of times getting you like a net 2 power is pretty good. Let me see. Oh, yeah.
Pull that eye to the center of his chest.
Yeah, it does.
Check a few online references.
That's good. Look at the way it is dried on Namor a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You're getting dry enough that I'm ready. I'm just about ready to get him with the Stone Cold Stunner. You shading Strange a little bit. Not Strange. Shading Namor. Let's see. Are you dry now? Shade Namor. This is gonna get him just the right color. I feel the way I do about this, the same way I felt when I figured out my rat skin scheme for my Skaven.
Okay.
Bugman's Glow with Agrax Earthshade just gets the right shade of brown. But it never felt right to use Bugman's Glow for these models.
Yeah.
Like, I know Bugman's with Reichland like is a good flesh tone,
Yeah.
but Bugman's always felt too pink, too dark for where I wanted a lot of these Marvel models to go.
Okay.
Especially name. This peach though is just bright enough that I think it works really well for the model designs. Am I going to be able to paint this eye? We'll see. Am I just gonna leave him like statue silhouette style? We'll see.
All right.
That's a decision for later, Eli. Not current Eli. Eli is just happy the skin's gonna work out like he's in his head.
The small wins of like actually getting what you see in your mind
Yeah.
like land on paper.
When thought meets execution, it's a really good feeling, especially in this hobby.
Yeah.
I have a list with Namor in right now, where I use him in X-Men for just basically to have all the safe grabs all the time.
Yeah.
Like, why don't I just run scrolls and set up 3 safe grabs?
Seems fair.
Or can go grab a midline. Then medium base, medium move can grab the center scroll. And then Storm Hop over with the big base lets me grab the other scroll. Also, I just like playing big bases in Storm X-Men. So much room to hop around on.
Big bases.
Yeah, gets you so much more room for activities. I think I have like 5 or 6 medium base models in that roster. Yeah. Colossus is in there. It's Colossus, Namor, Voodoo, Angel, and Beast.
Okay.
And then I think the rest of the list is fleshed out with Storm, X-23, Gambit, Magic, and cannot remember.
You found a magic?
Cyclops. I put Cyclops in there. So I
Yeah.
was like,
Did you find a magic, or is that?
I still have my proxy magic.
Yeah.
I don't have the new model yet. Or the old model.
Yeah.
Same with Colossus.
Okay.
Once that box comes around, I don't know if I'm gonna get the box and sell the Nightcrawler and Bishop, or if I'm
Yeah.
just gonna scrounge eBay for people who break up the box to sell. But I would love a
I bet there's a decent. I don't know if I'd say a decent amount, but there's some money to be made to like break that box up.
yeah, especially with, like, it's relatively cheap enough and you sell them for like $25-$30 individually.
Yep.
I have good 3D printed proxies painted up for Magic and for Colossus, but there's just something to be said about those models. I love the posing for both of them. Magic swinging her soul sword
Right.
as if she's like jumped up through a portal. Colossus is lifting a sentinel arm above his head. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I had some friends who just lucked into finding one recently, like original Colossus
Yeah.
and Magic, and I'm just like, fuck you. I hate you. It's not their fault. They didn't like find it on eBay or anything. Like
Right.
they happened to like there's a dude who just happened to buy a lot or something and happened to be in there, and he's just like, yeah, it was just easier to buy the lot, but I already have a Colossus. Would you like it? Yes, I will buy it from you.
What a lucky guy.
That was Peyton.
Yeah, what a lucky guy for Peyton.
He's been messing around a little bit with Apocalypse, so he just happened to have it.
Yeah, how's Peyton doing?
He's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just back overseas. He's playing around with an Asgard APOC combo.
Okay.
That looks really fun. I'll have to show you the list later.
Okay.
But basically the idea was, what if I took out APOC's 3 worst models
Yeah.
and just put Jean, Thor 1, and Bill?
I have an idea.
He brought it to the local
Uh-huh.
they had there in Baton Rouge, and he really liked playing with it.
Yeah.
And he went 2-1,
Okay.
but the one loss was kind of a wash. He got cheated pretty bad.
Ooh.
And then he brought it like today to
Uh-huh.
play games with, and earlier this week to play games with. He's just like it's starting to click.
Okay.
He had never really played APOC before, so he's figuring out the APOC side of it. And I think it's got some flexibility.
Okay. You know, Apox, that's a model I really like.
It's such a cool model.
And definitely something I want to try.
Yeah, dude. I want to see you try it. Hell yeah.
When you hit Apocalypse, Shergrot, they'll give you some bullshit.
Can't beat him.
I can respect.
You know what?
I can respect that.
Ted, you know what they say?
If you can't beat him, join him.
Yep.
You know, do you have a bill?
You not.
Because I suggest borrowing my bill. You do have a Hulk. Do you have a size 4 throw? That's really the question. Bill is my answer for a size 4 throw.
How do you deal with Apocalypse? Don't.
I'm going to throw him into other things and kill them that way.
Right.
Toad does not like size 4 throws going at him,
Right.
especially not anymore. Apocalypse thrown into Toad is much more likely to daze him now after the nerf, since he lost the pip of health.
Right.
Now he has to block 2 health instead of 1 to live. All right, let's let that dry. That's a good looking. Yeah, Chad, come look at that Namor.
He's very Macho Man.
Yeah.
The remake final fight of Punch Out.
Yes,
What's his name?
I do not recall, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like, hey, it used to be Tyson. Oh wait, we shouldn't put Tyson in.
Yeah,
Mr. Wonderful.
get this nice in here. Just a tad. Just enough. Just enough to fill the chamber, I think. Go. Put a little bit of flow and brewer in there, just a tad. A couple drops. There you go. We're gonna try to do some airbrushed, tiny bit of highlights on the on Doctor Strange's magical rings. The last time I used an airbrush like seriously on a model was when I first started this hobby 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And my friend who uses an airbrush a lot in Houston was like, I'm going to help you learn how to use an airbrush by priming your models. And so like my first Carnosaurs were primed with an airbrush and such. And then I never really owned one, so I never used it.
Sure.
Nice hue there. Okay. See a little bit, Joe?
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
subtle, but you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Just doing a light color on the tops. And a little bit, not necessarily full coverage, but like light coverage over everything. There we go. That came out nice. There, get a little bit more on the side though. Okay, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an even lighter orange yellow over the top of it. Clean out the airbrush a bit, just a tad.
I moved Blade's pants from like black leather almost to like a dark kind of drab.
Oh, I like that. Kind of like military panty.
Yeah.
Which fits very well for him. A little bit more water in there. Perfect. Okay. We're going to get same amount. We're going to put just a tiny bit in here. Just enough to fill the little chamber. Just a couple drops of flow improver in there. Go. Add in there. Maybe. Depends on aliases. Go Get 'em Tiger still references Peter Parker, doesn't it? Is he Peter Parker? Is he Peter B. Parker? What is his what's his alias going to be? Because the thing is, if he's Peter Parker, that sucks a lot. because he's competing with Specs. Specs and amazing, and just
Now, speaking of Spider Noir,
yes.
you see the trailer?
I did not watch the trailer. I
Bro.
forgot it came out.
They got
I'm gonna have to watch
Nicolas Cage.
it. I know,
to,
I know they have Cage coming out. I'm very excited for that show.
I am. That's fun.
A little bit more on the back than I wanted, but that front, perfect.
Yeah. No.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That came out. Mwah. Yeah, it's really stand out. I'll
Yeah.
put pictures on the Discord and online because it is very nice. Appreciate it, Joe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten this far without you. It would have not looked anywhere near like this.
Having models look the way we see them in the head.
Yeah,
It feels so fucking
it feels so nice. Having been able to achieve that twice tonight
good. Yep.
feels really good.
Black leather boots for Blade.
It's the only kind of advice that you get when you go to a painting class. I should pay you. Join your
Yeah.
painting class, Joe.
Yeah.
How to use an airbrush. Basic tips.
Right.
The answer: use the airbrush. That's what we were joking with Alex yesterday
Yeah.
when we were talking about like painting with him. We're like, get advice from Alex, and Alex is just gonna be like, just paint the model, forehead.
Just paint the model.
And it's like, fuck, you right.
And then he's like, "That'll be $69.99."
Okay, on the leg there, perfect. You will.
Nobody takes it.
It's perfect as it is.
Bad.
It's not good, but it's just well designed.
Bad.
I need it.
I really hate the
What do you hate?
his like katana sheaths.
Yeah.
I really him in Deadpool. What are we trying to do?
The gold for his bracers and his belt.
Gold. Do you want to do metallic?
Metallic's fine.
Or do you want to try and do like a non-metallic?
No.
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 So you want to do a bright gold,
Bright gold works.
or do you want to do or kind of like a petite
Brighter gold.
brighter gold,
Yeah.
brighter gold?
I think that'll work well with the skin color I've got going on him. That looks good. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
And this is the great beauty that I get getting to work over here with people who know how to paint better than I do, with a wider selection of paint.
I've been working on trying more non-metallic.
Yeah.
It's unfun and I hate it. I hate it. It's not fun. It never looks right.
I accepted a long time ago that would just not this is not for me. Not for me. Oh yeah, this is also supposed to be the same color as the Trident, so it'll work out well. This will be good. So do a slight apply a slight yellow shade to it. Make it to brighten it up a little bit.
What's up? Paragraph speaks.
So does the chair cat.
Yep. The cat's also not shut.
Stream cat is hanging around. Well,
This
then
be
go eat
hungry.
forehead.
That card, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be hungry. All we do is feed
is-
the
what?
fucking cat.
Flip it back. Flip it back. Yeah.
I just noticed that the only difference is
It's
with the
Fury.
What do you think of that? What do you think so far?
That's good. I like the blue.
Yeah, this is a good gold. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good gold. I think I'll do a slight, very tiny amount of Cassandra yellow,
Uh-huh.
just to add that like slight yellower tone to it.
Yeah.
It'll look good, especially once it's on the trident.
Oh man.
For the
First
stream-
first one to talk to us a little bit is a damn bot.
sad.
Oh well, what can you do?
Like we said, if you're still watching, we appreciate it.
Yeah, no, right? Like, however, talk to me. All right, let me know what you thinking.
Yeah, I know, Jasper.
Pat, don't be bitching. All we do is feed you.
He's like, and all I want to do is eat. Feed me. There. That done. The most annoying part's gonna be the time. Those are gonna be.
I got you.
Oh, I have a good white because I have a Koroks white bottle that's been phenomenal. What do you got though?
It covers really, really well. All right.
Try
And
that.
so great coverage.
Yeah.
And it highlights really well if you want to go over it with like a little bit of Korax.
Okay.
All right. So I also find it doesn't go chalky
Okay.
like a lot of whites can. Like it'll still go chalky, but it's
Yeah.
really forgiving.
I think I like this better for Namor's little wings
Yeah.
because they're so tiny, and this isn't as like bright white.
Yeah.
Like Koroks is, you know. So it's not going to stick out as much. And maybe I won't even need to shade it.
Yeah.
Because I could. I like shading the Koroks with the apothecary white contrast paint.
Yeah,
It works really well as a white shade, and it does kind of tone down the brightness a little bit,
Right.
depending on how much you put on it and how much you shake it up beforehand. But that I'm not sure I'm going to even need to. That might just be the right color
Uh-huh.
from the drop. No, I may not even need to do the yellow shade over these bracers once it's all set. We'll see. Trident will be the tell.
Right.
If I have to shade on the trident, then I'll have to shade on the bracers and belts. Bracers and belts. So easy to paint and yet so annoying. Because of how round they are. Yeah, I know, Jasper. Of course, Namor's going to look weird until I paint that hair.
Yeah.
Flesh-looking hair does not look good. Not a good color for him. I think I do still have your patch up. Gracie gave me a copy because you had like 5.
I have so many copies for it.
But patch up, I think you may have only had like 2 copies.
You got 3.
You got 3? Then you gave me one because I would not have, because I have an actual copy of patch up, and the only way I would have gotten it is from you. Like exceptional healing. I'm really hoping those new webs TTCs are going to be real. Like, there's a decent amount of spots on a web's TTC list that you can use. You can use some good spots in there. A lot of times I have a 10th Mass Menace, and I'm like, this could literally be anything else. It'll work just as well. I'll take it just as little. It could be too. Like, the power generation itself is pretty solid on that turn. Like, it's fairly cheap to use. The problem with Mass Menace is not even with Mass Menace, it's that all webbed up and Spider Tracker are just so good guarantees that you have to take. Never leave a game without. At least me. Getting the slow just can be a pseudo stagger at the right moment. The extra couple dice can really help when you need to punch a dude. Yeah, especially if you need the trigger. Like, it's just, I think I probably wouldn't take it as much if the activated model had to use it. But the fact that it just has to be my turn is so good. It costs 3 power.
Don't tell me
So
anything that could change my mind. I hate that card.
I mean, fair. It is a game-winning card. Like, there is no denial. I think last night I had it up. Like, I had it up when Spider Woman was going to daze Psylocke,
Okay.
and I had forgotten the initial 2 dice, and then I rolled the 2 dice, and they were both hits, and she ended up dazing. Yes, and it helps push your attrition for webs who are not like a very good attrition team. They can, but a lot of times their attrition relies on getting just really solid dice rolls. They don't have a lot of fixing. A lot of times you're attacking to get a throw trigger or a push trigger. More than anything else. Yeah. Impact Web is phenomenal because it's a guaranteed power without doing damage, and you hopefully get a wild and push them. Phenomenal attack. One of the best attacks. Yeah, I wish Ben's Impact Web was a little bit more, even if it was just an extra die. Maybe his Impact Web hits size 3 instead of size 2, something like that. That'd be cool.
Nope, that model's ass.
He's not even like he's not bad. The problem is there's got to be an odd man out, and he's redundant.
He's especially good.
2099 really takes what you want to do with Ben and just actually makes it worthwhile to bring. Because otherwise, Ben right now just sits between Specs and Amazing Spider-Man, and both of those do the things you're trying to do with Ben better.
So I'm trying to go with like a non-metallic pseudo, kind of like scratched breastplate.
Oh, I see it.
I don't know if
I
that's
see
coming
it.
through.
Yeah.
Cat, you are gonna wreck
Jasper
everything.
he wants to see it. He wants to see Blade, buddy.
Stop calling my leg, buddy.
Don't worry, I'm paying
Fucking
attention.
tail, man.
My dog does the same thing. She bullies me.
Yep.
Oh no. Now that I've got all the pieces gold, Joe,
Yeah.
this does not need a shade.
No.
It is going to be good just as it
Nice.
is.
Nice.
It was one of those where one bracer does not show all of the effect that it has on the model. Basically all gold. Yeah, there's like nothing. There's through all the little details. It's just gold. That's nice. I like when that happens. That is a goal fit for an Atlantean king. Atlantean hoe of a king. Still an Atlantean king.
Well, he gets around.
He tries.
There's only one woman for his. Unfortunately, she does not like him.
Very much does not, but that doesn't stop him from trying.
It's almost endearing.
Almost. If it wasn't so creepy.
Right.
And he's like basically superhero fuckboy, right? Like,
Right.
I'm gonna destroy New York if you don't love me, Sue. Like, fucking what?
Love me.
I'm married with children. Don't care. Be my queen, or I'll destroy New York.
Right.
No. Fine. I won't destroy New York. Love me anyway.
What if I?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, now we're gonna be trading, man. Check that out.
Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah, that breastplate looks good, dude.
yeah.
So do the knee pads.
Dude, that shade,
Dude, right?
like on the back, man.
The pants highlights came out really nice too.
Yeah.
It's good. Good stuff.
Pretty happy with like the breastplate, the knee pads.
Yeah.
Um,
Should have brought my paint handle for you.
the
The
normal-
GW one I have works great for 35 mils.
I. Is it? Oh, that goopy thing.
Oh.
Sometimes how I like to paint.
My father-in-law 3D printed me some handles and some variable grip holders that go in.
Okay,
That are
okay.
super useful. I've got set aside ones that are good for 50 mils. This one that's good for 50 mils and one that's
Yeah.
good for the 35 mils.
Now I'm in a predicament.
Yes.
Fucking these hands.
Yeah.
Like
What's your predicament with them?
I don't know how I'm gonna paint it. Like Alex killed it, right?
Yeah.
Like he totally nailed like kind of hellish spiritual hand thing.
Yeah. That big red glow coming from
Right.
below.
And I don't know how I'm gonna handle my hand.
I feel like you almost got to pick your color because like the color of whatever the glow is going to look like is almost more important
Right.
because you're not going to really be using much other colors unless you want them to look like realistic hands.
Right.
Because like you've got your shadows laid out well from the priming there.
No.
You almost might like I don't want to say just like contrast paint over the hands, but like
Put a little, trying to make those pads and breastplate look a little metallic. You know, let me just take an easy win real.
yeah,
Take an easy win real quick.
easy win. Get the Namor's hair. Easy. It's just black. Got black right here. We'll give it to the titty. Hey.
Hey Jeff,
Welcome, Jeff.
congrats on your second place finish, dude.
Yeah. All right, gotta paint Namor's hair. Not fucking up the rest of them.
It's been pretty quiet for us here tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm working on Blade.
Okay.
Eli is working on Namor and Strange.
And Joe taught me how to use an airbrush.
I was there.
Joe does not want to take credit for basically showing me how to use an airbrush. Which I'm thankful for, because otherwise, yeah, this Namor, he would not look as good, and neither would the Strange Mortals. There you go. Oh.
See, okay, look. Did I not comment earlier on that Jeff would say that I have never cleaned an airbrush?
That is what you said.
That is what you said.
Told you.
Good. Not fucking up my skin tone lines.
Just respond.
LOL is about the only response you can give to that. I got him called.
Joe's like, I know you, motherfucker.
Well, we've been through this before. Surprise, motherfucker.
Our eyes, motherfucker. I miss fine.
So funny.
Dude. Fucking culture.
Right?
One of those you had to be there apps.
Yep.
Redefine what short-term media looked like. Okay, got the back neckline. What to do? New GHB is crazy. Basically, seems like a 4.5 edition. That is pretty ballsy.
That is very ballsy of them. But
I'm excited to see it.
Will it be enough this late in the game?
I would love to feel excited. It's only been a year.
This late in the game.
Like, at least it feels like if that's the case, they really are going forth with what they said they could and would be willing to do at the beginning of the edition. 2 weeks. Yeah, apparently it could be available when we go to Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we'll get to build for the new GHB.
it feels a little crazy.
Which I won't be upset about. I'll take playing dinos. That new Carnosaur does give me tingles.
What?
Oh yeah, man. That new Carnosaur with how much damage it can do.
There.
Doing plink damage to units is kind of the name of the game with Seraphon. So triggering that +1 damage on stuff, very easy. Monster trait for +1 to hit on all its companion weapons.
Speaking of cutoffs, I cut off.
What?
Hell yeah.
Alphabetized team jackets.
Oh, wonderful.
Got some space to spare.
Nice. Is that all of them?
All the ones we own.
Damn it! That's the second time I've dipped a brush in gravel.
There we go. I didn't fuck up the hairline.
Yeah.
Now that looks like Namor.
Yeah.
Time for the pants.
The pants.
Or the Speedo. Pant. One single pantalone.
What colors?
Oh, it's gotta be green.
Could be green.
Yeah. What's a good green?
Like a sea green?
Sea green could be good. It's usually a bit brighter.
Brighter.
Yeah. Like this bright green. Ooh, but that oxide green. Both good. No, I don't want to get that granular. Highlight every little tiny scale on the fucking...
You could.
I could just...
I mean...
Makes you want to play dinos? Yeah.
If you're gonna highlight anything,
like...
Is Namor's crotch not the ideal thing to
I
highlight?
do it the way that we highlighted our cable shields with like the little V's.
Yeah.
The constant V's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go for it.
All right. If it's your flavor of autism.
I mean, yeah, it is. Come on. You're brilliant. I'm gonna set you aside. You have a very specific purpose. Green oxide, slight green shade,
Yeah.
highlight.
Yeah. Just the tiniest little wick.
Just the tip.
Just a little.
On all the scales. Unreasonably. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna look so good. Fuck. An unreasonable amount of effort for fucking the best, silliest thing.
You gotta paint your katanas, mister.
Yeah, how are you gonna paint? How are you gonna paint them? Are you gonna use a metallic on the blade itself?
So Alex complimented me about not using metallics, which has done irreparable damage
to your ego,
to my ego, and my psyche. So I almost can't actually just slap some iron down on these guys.
You gotta do NNM. You won't. No balls. Invoking the ancient ritual, the ancient rite. I know it works on you.
It does.
You are the right kind of autism.
It does. I'm a giant child. Hey, Randy.
Randy's in the chat then. This seafoam green also looks really good. Like that's just a good base color.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm gonna slap a little Beal tan on there.
Yeah, okay.
Brighten up the green a little bit, and then it'll get highlighted with the bright green.
What? Lower what? Oh, lower. I
Who likes to sit up?
Good for him. I am a gremlin.
I'm working on these katanas, right?
Yeah.
And I found that the zenithal highlight, if you're really careful, basically does non-metallic metal for swords.
Look at that. That's awesome then.
And then you just have to go in with like a white, and just kind of edge highlight the blades,
Makes sense.
and then boom, you get a really easy like non-metallic.
No, NMM weapon.
Yep. You know, you boys all about cheating the process.
Yep.
Speaking about cheating the process, I actually upset some people the other day.
For what?
I was talking about how I wanted to get all of that Gravedigger stuff painted.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm gonna like instead of doing like a traditional paint, I think I'm gonna cheat and just use contrast and oils.
No, why not?
A couple people got really offended.
They're your models, dude.
Well, they got offended at the I suppose at the belief that I was belittling contrast
Oh.
and like
No.
it's like the use of contrast, like belittling the use of contrast paint, right?
Weird.
And I'm like, no. When I say cheat,
Yeah.
I mean cheat the steps,
Yeah.
right? I don't want to start with black. I don't want to layer up, fucking 50 molds.
Right.
All right. I just don't want to do that. I could cheat the steps with contrast.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's there to do. That's its actual job.
That is how they marketed it.
Yep. Just slap it on, they said.
Instead of 2 thin coats, that was literally 1 thick
One
coat.
thick coat. Which then turned out to also be a lie.
Also be incorrect.
Because 1 thick coat of contrast looks awful.
1 thin coat. And then maybe some extra highlights.
Right.
In fact, you might want to do another coat of the contrast first. Oh, this was the right kind of white, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's not too bright.
Yeah.
Not gonna need a little bit of shade. It's just gonna look. You're just gonna see the wing. It's just there. That's his. Did you know?
Yeah.
That's Namor's mutation.
Really?
That's his mutant ability. It's the fucking wings.
What a stupid fucking ability. Are they like?
I did see all the discounted Warmachine stuff. Unfortunately, nothing I wanted. A lot of it's older Warmachine though.
Yeah.
And Warmer Hordes. Yeah. His mutation is the wings.
That's a really stupid.
Everything else he is Atlantean.
That is really stupid. In like a bad way.
It's the funniest shit.
And like not a good way.
It's
That's
the
the bad.
funniest thing to me.
But no, Jeff. I had kind of seen it after you had pinged me. But we're out here doing the thing, so I hadn't really had a chance to.
To peruse it.
Yeah.
What the
Crackly.
fuck? Joe's sweet, silky voice.
Man, I
Not
wish.
fully coming through? Yeah, dude,
Oh,
you got a
sure.
good voice.
What?
Flip it.
Flip it?
Oh.
My bad. I hope not. So are the wings like powerful?
They help him fly.
Help him fly?
Yeah, like he can actually go in the air.
Do
He
they
both, like, a
give
little
him
bit-
flight or do they assist in some kind of natural flight?
No, I don't know. I don't think he can naturally fly as an Atlantean. I think he has like a limited hovering ability because they are just on the ankles.
I almost feel bad for the guy.
You should. Everything about Namor makes me feel bad for him because it's hilarious and his own fault.
Like, here's my mutant ability that I'm persecuted for. Little
He's not
dinglets.
persecuted for being a mutant. He's
He's-
persecuted for being an Atlantean and trying to destroy New York all the time.
AKA asshole.
AKA an asshole. He is every stereotypical college like frat fuckboy if he controlled the entire under ocean. He's like, I should get whatever girl I want because I control the ocean. Look at me, I'm so cool. And then he gets rejected, and he's like, nah, she doesn't want me right now, bro. It's okay, I'll win her over eventually. And then he gets beat up by Spider-Man.
Good. Everyone deserves to get their ass beat by Spider-Man at least once in their life.
Yeah. Saw some images the other day of like when Daredevil and Spider-Man go head to head. I'm like, this is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Because like Matt Murdock like killed a guy and he thought he was just. And Spider-Man was like, oh buddy, no. I don't care what your reasons are. You have now crossed me.
That's weird that Murdoch would kill a guy.
I think it was I don't, since I only seen like images on the internet and
Yeah.
I hadn't like I hadn't like read the comic.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's from like it's the early parts of the Shadowland run,
Oh, okay.
which before he'd actually like fully became Shadowland.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of questionable moral things back then, or in that run. Not going to be able to get side of the wing so easily because of the position of the leg itself. Trust. It's not going to look terrible. So, yeah. And with that, I have to shade the sure. I remember. Unfortunately, on Facebook from one of those like fan pages, so can't easily go search it up either. I need to just suck it up and get a Marvel Unlimited account, just start reading everything. You ever hit a color combo on a model so good it's just like sex? That's what it feels like shading this Bealtan over this over this green oxide.
Yeah.
Like that color is just perfection. He's gonna look so good with his highlighted crotch scales.
The blades.
Those look good. I like the lines you were going over it with.
Well, man, I've put this part off the whole time. I don't want to have to paint skin.
Oh, you got this, dude.
A dark black.
I'm happy to come and paint on the stream, even though it wasn't planned. Because
Yeah.
like, if I wasn't doing the stream, I'd be playing against Chad, and if I wasn't playing against Chad, I'd be at home watching the stream and playing Balatro on my PS5.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of
speaking of
Balatro,
Balatro-
Did you pick it up? Did you pick it up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's free on PlayStation Plus users.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Worth getting it.
So I booted it up yesterday, and in 3 hours, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Have you had any successful runs yet?
Got to.
Okay. Yeah. A successful run with any deck past once you've done like the tutorial and learn the mechanics is going through ante 8.
Okay.
When you complete the boss blind for ante 8, that's considered a successful run, and then you can start a new run or you can continue endless mode for it, which is just see how far you can go with the deck.
It's
And you get marked as successful, and then when you click a new deck, it'll show a poker chip for each difficulty you've completed that deck on.
the problem is can't play Balatro. I still have Expedition 33.
I have that downloaded. I have not played it yet. But I've also been playing Spider-Man 2, which is why. So Spider-Man 2 is so fucking good.
It's so good. But those suits. Only a couple.
I like a lot of the designs themselves, even if I wouldn't feel it's the colorways that I'm not like a big fan of. Like a lot of them didn't need extra colorways. Some of them are the same.
Yeah.
But I did like the advanced suit designs that they made for like the base ones for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
The improvements from the other ones. There's like Miles had his classic suit, now he's got the advanced suit, and the changes they made look really nice, and they made the black darker, which is cool. And then Peter's advanced suit 2.0 also was just they did there's so many good choices in the game. Look at that color after the shading.
ooh,
This is gonna be perfected. Oh no, okay. Well, so we'll see. We got the right color there, the green there. Hard to tell because it's small, and if I bring it closer to the camera, then there's less light on it. But
You had a good spot, like
tell from this to what you can see the green. Now we're gonna take this green, and we're gonna take this really thin brush that Joe gave me, and I'm going to achieve the most focus I've achieved in a while to not fuck up the way this looks.
what color's Blade's hair?
I think it's black. Yeah.
Why do I keep thinking white? Right?
Skill to get started. So much effort. Just a stupid little joke. But it's gonna be so worth it.
Right?
Even if the only ones who laugh are you and me. It will be worth it.
Does Blade have a collar, or is his neck just fucking yoked? I think I need a reference.
Let me see the model.
I've started painting his neck, and I don't know if his neck is just fucking huge.
It's just huge. Does not look like a necklace or anything to me.
Right?
Need a few.
Ow. That hurt. I dropped my phone on my fucking foot.
Oof. Correct.
Getting up and stretching my legs. Gotta do a little stretch, you know? I gotta stretch it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vegito.
Yeah. Geo. They had last I saw, they had gotten everybody out of Majin Buu. I don't think hadn't beaten him yet, but he's looking desperate. Consummate bees.
I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Actually, I'm gonna use the restroom. We're gonna run 3 minutes VADs because pre-roll is off.
Oh
So
no.
I'm gonna hit this button here, and we'll see everyone on the purple side in a minute.
And before the subscribers just watch me continue to.
The only reason I noticed the crackling earlier was because of the red button side.
Well, thank you, Red Button Side.
Because I was just curious. I was like, hey, what does this sound like? Not sound good.
Yeah, I still. Hilarious that this is even just like less of a meme and more just like this looks really like fucking good when it's done. It's so much effort for just a fucking speedo.
But it's a really good looking.
It's a look, like legitimately, those highlights look good.
It really does look good. This where this brought me.
Good, because it's picking out the individual scales on the backside or on them. So yeah, it's a little bit. Turns out edge highlighting does edge highlighting shit, right?
This thing that says it does this actually does this.
The thing that I'm usually too lazy to do, but I will do it for a fucking meme when Joe basically no balls me and hands me the brush to do it.
Oh, they finally updated that card.
Which card?
The Mutant Trader thing text card.
Oh, yeah.
I completely missed that was on the change list.
Yeah, there's 5 team tactics cards, and most of them, 4 of them were just like clarity wording issues. And the last one, they changed the bishop tactic card so the timing of the damage only happens once. Oh, and Astral Rings wording clarity led to like an FAQ of just for how it interacts with scoundrels.
Okay. What was its weird interaction with scoundrels?
Well, because because the projection is strange. If you have the projection contesting an objective, strange is considered contesting an objective, which means strange gets cover if the projection is targeted by attack from someone not contesting that objective, and it also means he denies cover. The projection denies cover to other enemy units contesting that objective.
That is a very weird interaction.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, that projection is strange. Joe gets back, they'll all be done. Even the ones on the underside. Fucking god damn it. But complete they are. Take a look.
Looks good.
So good. Like crotch scales. You now.
Got the scales of his fish.
Yes, he does. Now we gotta take off blue tack. Okay. Don't off the model. We're gonna have problems if you don't come off blue tack. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We're having problems.
Uh-oh. Some of Joe's utensils.
Yeah, it's just sticking too long. I'm not going to worry as much about rubbing off paint here.
Up, Jeff's going to sleep. Night.
Good night.
Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow,
night.
dude. Have fun.
Got to keep tabs on BC.
Yeah. mostly came off. Now I need to rub the rest of it off effectively.
They staying at a hotel or they staying at a B&B?
I think they're staying at a hotel. Don't know if it is the exact hotel that the hotel you've. Oh no, I don't know if it's the hotel that's like right next to the venue or not, but
Or blue stuff still on them?
yeah. Okay. This is a hand. Maximus, your spare hand will help. Otherwise, I'm about to just take like a damn paper towel and wipe it all off. Which will be good enough.
Is that a hand on blank face?
No, it looks like the Maximus spare hand.
From not holding the gun.
Yeah,
Ah, that works.
breaking some mood off. And dampen a paper towel and probably wipe off the rest. I'm sure that's what you're supposed to do. I could just not give a shit and then
I mean, it just blends in with the water. So.
it kind of does. It just adds texture. Chaotic gremlin strikes again.
Adds character.
Give me blue. It'll get a blue shade, and then after the blue shade, it'll get a very light white dry brush. Very light, because I do not want to get white on the boy. The boy. In hindsight, I probably should have just been like, fuck it. If the water gets a little flush on it, it does. It does not mask, but oh well. That backside of his foot. That while I was shading it earlier. Good. Looking good. Oh, this is so good. Tiny flesh shade. Come here. Back of the foot. Cannot go unshaded. God,
Did it make you jump?
the fucking air compressor made me jump.
That's funny. Giving this back to Joe.
Oh, no, keep it.
Why am
I'm going to be going to bed soon.
You gotta be up
Okay,
early?
so-
It is 11.
Oh shit.
We have been going at this for
Okay,
about
well
3
then,
hours.
yeah. That's
It being late is a good enough reason to call it.
Other than that, it's probably done.
it
How
does,
can-
that sounds like it should be,
That's
yeah.
how the team.
So legit, like, could leave it and have the Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman it, so you gotta give it. Maybe a cover.
Oh, ooh, actually.
Joe, you want me to kick it over to the camera and show everyone what your progress was on him tonight?
Like, so obviously it's not finished. You're going for like a black.
Yeah.
So you're that less like your usual poppy. You know, is body armor sort of like that. Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go damage, scratched up. I think it can.
I'd say like we have more. That might be a lot of free. Yelled the.
I'm so good at paint. It's a weird thing to get rid of.
But hey, there's a lot of fabric on a lot of models, Joe.
This dude.
So man,
Dude, look, no, you have to look how it came out. Highlighted every fucking scale.
so the man
That is
look
wonderful.
great.
That is wonderful. That's
Like,
so good, Eli.
I was like telling Chad, fucking Edge highlighting does what it fucking does. It just oh,
I got up on that airbrush today.
so are you an airbrush technician? There's your first couple of times.
I do not airbrush like ever, so this is like the first time that I really used it, and it achieved the effect I really wanted on the portal.
Good Marvel Sparkle Circle.
Yeah. Like got the different red oranges on there to highlight things. Came out really nice, and then the splatter on the base ended up providing an extra effect. Basically gonna finish up what I want to do with this
Well-
model.
Joe has called it a night, effectively.
Gotta be early.
He's got to be up early, and I got to be up early
So I think
with Lexi. So I think we're going to let Eli finish up whatever he's working on, and then we will call it a night there.
just want to put the white on Doctor Strange here. And then that is the good stopping point. So while everybody's in the background, it's been a wonderful time for those of you that
No,
stuck
Joe, you
with
can't
us.
leave yet. You gotta
For
do the
those of you
thing.
that stuck with us, thank you. If you like what we're doing and you want to see more of it, give us a follow, drop a sub, all that good stuff. Check us out on our YouTube channel, same name. We upload our videos all the time up there. We'll be back soon.
Abraham says hello.
Just as we're ending, I'm sorry, Abraham.
Abraham, for you, buddy, we're gonna show you what we've been working on.
Yeah,
All night.
we've been streaming for 3 hours.
Right.
They got to get up early. I don't. I'll probably finish these when I get home. But Joe worked on his blade.
Right.
Oh yeah, there is. Okay. So we can lower the brightness a little.
The one on the left.
All right, there we go.
Oh, too much.
Too much. There you go. So we got blade here.
Yep. Working on Blade.
Joe's doing phenomenal work on. A lot of good highlights, a lot of good fabrics going on.
Yep.
I have gotten most of Namor down. Namor himself is complete. I got to finish the wave and then paint all the little crabs, barnacles, and shells on the basing,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
do the base rooms. Then Doctor Strange got his portal done, and I painted the base colors on the fabrics.
Yeah. Looking good. Coming along well.
Yeah, found you guys had a white blue,
Yeah.
which goes perfectly with it. And
Oh,
it'll look
yeah.
really good
Yeah.
once
Yeah,
I
it
shade
looks
the whole thing.
Yeah,
Like It'll give it that nice blue tint.
Yeah,
And that's
so,
all the projects.
Thanks
for
for stopping
today.
by, Abraham. We're calling it quits here. So we've got to be up early, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for at least saying something. Hopefully next time we get together and stream, catch you a little earlier at night.
Yeah. I think the next hobby stream we're going to be doing is probably in like 3-ish weeks or so.
Yeah.
Once Joe and I get our hands on our
Phoenixes.
Phoenixes we want, we're gonna be airbrushing them on camera for a hobby stream, which will be really fun.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a lot of fun for that.
If you like what we're doing, like I said, if you like what we're doing, you want to see more of it, drop the follow. We'd appreciate if you subscribe if you have the spare cash, Twitch Prime, whatever to do it with. You want to check out our old videos? They're all on youtube.com/DaWeirdcast. We're sponsored by BattleWorks.com. That's works spelled with an E. If you see a picture of a dwarf that looks like this guy up here,
That's me.
then you're in the right spot. Got a bunch of wargaming accessories. It's mostly for the larger army scale ones, but they are working on stuff for some of the smaller skirmish games as they get it together. And we'll be seeing some stuff soon. We'll probably play with some more MCP soon.
Yeah.
Once we get our hands on full GHB, we might go back to Sigmar for a video or two.
Should be getting close to
stuff.
Sigmar.
Yeah, test some stuff. We're getting into Warmachine again. I might throw that on camera once we get all the models painted. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And until then, stay weird.
I love our outro.